has World Liberty Financial, the crypto company that's associated with Trump, have they responded at all about this? Because they struck that billion-dollar deal with ALT5 Sigma just a few months ago.
Yeah, interestingly, they appear to be sharing a spokesperson. So, when I reached out to the person who I was first introduced to as being the spokesperson for World Liberty, when they got back to me with some answers, they said, this is from ALT5 Sigma. So I think there's a lot of overlap there, which is not all that surprising. You touched on it earlier, setting up why this company matters. It's got a huge, huge, huge overlap with World Liberty Financial, which of course is the crypto venture co-founded by Donald Trump and his three sons. They're affiliated with an LLC that owns 38% of the company. They get a cut from token sales. They have 22.5 million of these tokens as well. When this deal happened, you've got ALT5 Sigma acquired $1.5 billion at the time of these tokens. Now, $750 million worth of those it got by issuing more stock, selling it, and using the money to buy. The rest came in a deal with World Liberty Financial, where it got ALT5 Sigma got $750 million worth of tokens, and World Liberty Financial got 1 million shares of the company's stock. Zack Witkoff, son of Steve Witkoff, who is Trump's Middle East envoy and is one of the co-founders of World Liberty Financial, he's now chairs the board at ALT5 Sigma. Eric Trump was initially announced to be a member of the board of directors, but after consulting with NASDAQ for reasons that we don't know, he became an observer instead. And then another guy named Zach Folkman, who is also a World Liberty Financial co-founder, is in fact on the board of directors of ALT5 Sigma. So you've got a lot of overlap between these two companies.
And then my next question to you would be, does President Trump himself make any money from what you described as that huge, huge, huge overlap between World Liberty Financial and ALT5 Sigma?
Yeah, I mean, he certainly stands to profit. Now, right now, his tokens and those of other founders of World Liberty Financial are locked up, so they can't actually trade those right now. But by ALT5 Sigma acquiring $1.5 billion worth of tokens, that certainly raises the price of these tokens that Trump has, that at some point he might be able to sell. So that certainly helps there. And then the valuation of World Liberty Financial, the better ALT5 Sigma does, the better World Liberty Financial does, because it has a million shares of its stock with warrants to obtain another 99 million.
And you've been following the stories when it comes to ALT5 Sigma. I guess when you're looking at what's next for the company, what questions do you still have?
Where's the quarterly report? When are we going to get the quarterly report? What does it say about its financials? That's really interesting to me. How it explains this discrepancy with the auditor dates, if it's asked. How it explains the discrepancy between the CEO suspension dates, if it's asked. So there's a lot of questions right there. Now, we can see a fair amount of how the company is doing financially without seeing that quarterly report, because it is so tied into World Liberty Financial. We can see that what was $1.5 billion worth of tokens, as of yesterday, was down to about $1.1 billion worth of tokens. Meanwhile, the company's market cap, its value on the market, was 206 million, I think it was. So the value of the company was about 1/5 of the value of those Trump tokens that it's holding. So that is the market thinking that this company is not great if it's valuing it at such a discount to these tokens that it holds.
Well, Zach, per usual, I appreciate the reporting. And when we see that third quarter report, when and if we see eventually the fourth quarter report, I hope you can come back on and break it down with me. I appreciate the time.
Of course, looking forward to it.